Hello, we're gonna do another garden tour today. It is March 5th and not a lot has been going on in the garden, so I won't be walking through it quite as thoroughly as I did in January, but we'll go take a look and see what is starting to bud out, what is starting to bloom, if anything. Hint, spoiler alert, nothing is blooming yet. But I'm using this to sort of document what did the plants look like through all of the growing seasons. So again, it is March 5th, and this is very late winter, early spring, and a status update on the garden. Back in February, we got this all set up, moved the greenhouse from that section and moved the raised beds here. And tomorrow, actually, we're getting the cattle panel trellis that's gonna go up and over here. Although we won't probably set it up yet until I get soil in the beds and get them leveled out. And I'll likely put 3 more of those same raised beds, kind of 1, 2, 3 over here, just to take advantage of the sun that we get so much more over here. And a quick recap of the border gardens. Notice this time, I definitely did a lot of weeding before filming all this. So the weigela, I think, how do I focus on this? I think that those are buds. How do I get it to focus? Yeah, there we go. I think these are buds grown in. And the ninebark, just starting to put out some like leaf structure right at the tip, but not a lot otherwise on the plant. These darn butterfly bushes just will not quit. And the smoke tree, the smoke bush, maybe very, very early signs of buds popping up, but really not much in the interior of this plant. This is the one that got really tall. Magnolia tree. The beautyberry is really on its last legs. There's just a few purple berries hanging on. Hey, take a look at how few weeds there are. Gosh, it looks so much better. No growth yet, no sprouts or anything coming up for the black cohosh or the snake root. And I think with some of the really cold temperatures that we got, the paper plant didn't do the best, but I think it'll bounce back. I think it'll recover. Still no signs of no signs of early growth on these yet either. My poor hellebore, it's got some new growth coming up, but it's not looking the hottest. That one's looking much better. Now on these plants, I am starting to see some signs of budding. I assume that'll be for flowers. I don't remember what this plant is called. I will pop it up on the screen, but I have several of them. Got one over there. Got this one. I've got that one. And this plant, we are starting to see signs of new growth. Lots of buds. Very early stages. As I mentioned previously, we moved here in June, July, August, so over the summer. So I have no idea what this is going to look like in its peak. I did pick up a couple black mondo grass, which I'm super excited for. I don't think I'll put them here. I just needed to get them somewhere where they would get rain and sun instead of under the patio. But I think that would be too much grass here, so those might move to the bed behind me. Now, the brunnera. This is coming through really, really nicely. I'm very excited for this one. I started seeing new green growth on these as early as February 8th, so this is about a month's worth of growth. And then this paper plant, I think at some point I'm going to need to cut this because this is where the flower was. It's a really wonky looking flower. And then nothing yet in the hosta group. There's one here. I think I only had two. One there, and then that stick, I think, was also where the other hosta was. And this, I think it's just a weed. Yeah, that's just a weed. And over here, I got a new plant. Gladiola, I think is what you call it, gladiola. So that's gonna have some really pretty scent coming in once I get that planted. Just starting to see some of the flower begin here. And the black lace elderberry. Definitely need to do some type of trimming on this. But it is starting to leaf out. Look at that. All up and down its branches. Again, this is March 5th. So you're really getting some nice growth. Notice you've got like 1, 2, 3 coming out on that knot right there. And a bunch coming out on this node here. I think I want to cut this tall stalk because I don't really want it to grow super high, but I might only knock it down up to this point. That would be like 6 feet off the ground. And then maybe cut other branches down to that height just to shorten it, but maintain some of the blooms. I don't know, we'll see. And then last but not least, we have the 2 rose bushes, one there and one here. This one's a brick red floribunda rose. And I don't have the tag for that one, but it is a really pretty orange color, and that one's a little bit bushier than the brick red one. So my other task today, since it's early March, is I'm gonna lop those off. Start with the spring cleanup, or late winter cleanup, I should say, of the roses. So the roses are starting to put off some new growth, which is cool. As far out as the ends or the tips, and then you're getting some kind of bigger ones in there. So I'll have to figure out how to prune this. Tim also mowed the lawn for the first time for the season on Sunday, on March 2nd. It needed it. And we're already starting to see kind of all of these little tufts here. Those are new growth popping up just in the past 3 days. But the lawn is looking pretty good, and we will start to kind of seed it or fertilize it or aerate it, or I don't know, do whatever needs to be done to it, probably in a few weeks. I think it's still a little early to do that.